Ready to go.
What's up, guys? We are live. We are at episode 10 for Keeping It Blunt, and we are so happy to be here. Caleb and I are an hour later than usual, hour and 10 minutes to be exact. So sorry for our tardiness there, but we're here to rock, and we're so excited to be here. Caleb, what's up, bud? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I don't know why you say we are late. I mean, this has nothing to do with me, guys. This is all on Perry. This is I'm throwing you under the bus here, man. Like,
Wow.
you got a lot of stuff to do.
Wow.
So it wasn't a big deal to me, going an hour later or anything. We're excited to come on here and still be with you guys. We got a great holiday to celebrate, so that also helped boost me up a little bit because I get to drink and drinks.
Any reason for Caleb to drink is a great holiday. I think he looks at it that way. We're so glad. Sure. Wednesday, we're still rocking, and we have a lot to talk about today. Pop culture, music, movies, news, sports, Bachelor update. We got everything for you today. So make sure you guys are in the comments and saying what's up. I know Matt Skur already saying, yo, what's up, guys? Happy St. Patty's Day. Happy St. Patty's Day to you too, my friend. Thank you so much for tuning in. Everybody else that's in here so far, spending their night with us. Make sure you got your blunts ready, you got your bowls ready, you got your drinks ready, and let us know what you're smoking on, what you're drinking on throughout the show. Before we do get started, I want to remind everybody, if you're gambling, please go to mybookie.ag. Go use code USN100. Double your first deposit with Unwrapped. We are presented by Unwrapped Sports, of course. Unwrapped Sports, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. Subscribe to us everywhere, but go gamble with us at mybookie.ag. USN 100 will get double your money and an extra sign-up bonus. So please go do that with us. We'll do a few more ads a little bit later, but let's just jump right into it. You can find me at Perry Aston. Find my boy over to my left at CHS Knoll. And you can, of course, find our page at keepingit_blunt. That's where we're posting different clips from the show, different trippy videos. We got our poll of the week. We're doing everything on there. The page has been really fun. Thank you, everyone, for all of your interaction, of course. So let's dive right in. I want to just dive right in. And our first subject today is stimulus checks. Stimmies, man.
Whoa. We're just skipping right over puff, puff, pass and everything like that. Are we skipping
I was just talking about my vibe today. I was going to throw that one in, and we'll do that. I just want to throw stimmies in because real quick, I just got my stimmy. So I just threw a couple investments in. That's why I'm telling you how I'm feeling today. I'm feeling good because we got stimmies. I got stimmies today, and not just that. I got a little tax return at the same time. Paychecks rolling in. You got a lot of things at once, so a lot of blessings. So that's gonna, of course, look towards our first subject. But I just want to wrap that in for how I'm feeling, of course, today.
Bro, I'm riding high too. I already got my tax return, and I use that, to
let's go.
Car. But dude, this $1,400 stimmy check on top of my $1,600 winnings from last week in gambling, I was like, yes, sir, let's go. I was like, my bank account has not looked this pretty in quite some time. I was like, I am super happy. So yeah,
you've been on fire with gambling. You've been on fire lately.
I've been loving that. It's only because I don't tell people my picks anymore. That's my thing. I don't tell people my picks, and I win.
I got make it. We're all making some dollars today. All of us Americans, of course. New nickname P Money. I'll take the nickname P Money on the show. Today's the birth of P Money, P Dollar, P Cash, P Bags.
Perrin.
Oh yeah, of course. We're bringing that back. So we're gonna start here with our roll up poll up for today. And we're going to start with just asking everybody what we're smoking on, what we're drinking on. And I'm going to start with my brother Caleb here. So what are we smoking on? What are we drinking on? I know you always have an assortment of the two. And again, in the comments, guys, please jump in. Tell us what you're on tonight too. Even if you're just chilling, just let us know what's up.
Yeah, let us know. So I actually had a rough week, man. A rough weekend. I went to TPC. I was, drinking pretty heavily. So I've been kind of out of it.
You're on a bender.
Bro, yeah, it was bad. I'm 26 years old. I can't be doing that anymore. So, my body was shutting down on me Sunday. When I got home, I had a 3-hour drive, and then after that, on Monday, I just felt like complete shit at work. So I tried to drink it off, and then it just slowly started to go away. But I'm back drinking on this night tonight. I've got a green beer. I chose green since it is St. Patrick's Day. I've got a little bit of Irish in me myself. So
Well, happy St. Patty's Day, my brother. I didn't know you were Irish.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. About pretty good percentage. Like 24% or
Okay.
something like that. So it's pretty good. But I'm smoking on my King Palm as always. I got Blue City Diesel tonight. Blue City Diesel. I've never heard of it, but it's some good shit from what I hear. So I'm really excited to smoke this, and I've got my trusty bowl sitting here too. For I like to break it out later in the show, but that's what I'm smoking on tonight.
Wow. I like your assortment there. Today I have a little bit of blue diesel myself. So it's a blue dream sour diesel mix. So I got a little bit of that, a little bit of gelato that was left over mixed up together. So, I got a good little assortment myself here. And I'm feeling good. I'm not drinking anything today, but it is St. Patty's Day, as you see, with our little theme today. I got Bertha here to help me out throughout the show. And not just that, I brought on a little edible. You won't be able to see all of it because it's kind of green, but we got a little Sour Patch edible that we're going to be snacking on throughout the show as well. But yeah, that's been a nice roll of pulp. We're going to smoke up as we dive right into our Puff Puff Pass, sorry about that. It's been a long day. So Puff Puff Pass for us.
Oh, Puff Puff Pass first.
Puff Puff Pass. So, for this time we're going food edition. Are you hungry right now?
I'm always hungry, bro. And once you start smoking, you get hungry.
I am so hungry. That's what I'm saying. I'm starving. So this one is going to hit extra hard. So we have the food edition today. And for anybody that's watching that hasn't seen our show before, doesn't know what the Puff Puff Pass edition is, it is you pick two, pass on one. So you're puffing on two in our rotation here, and we're going to pass on one in the rotation here. So I start with Caleb usually. I know he threw it on me yesterday, so I'm going to start it myself this time, and then we're going to throw it to Caleb after. So I'm gonna light up. I'll tell you my three, and here's our choices today. We have wings, pizza, and tacos, and I think this is a really tough three. And I eat these three quite often, so it's tough for me to choose. I'm going to have to say I'm going to puff on tacos as my first one. I'm going to puff on pizza as my second. And I'm going to pass on wings. And I can say it's because I have been a manager of wing places for so many years, not anymore, but I think I'm just a little scarred from that. So maybe it's a bias thing personally. Chicken is one of my favorites for sure. I think I have chicken so often, but if I had to pick between these three, tacos, pizza, I feel like are go-tos for me. And wings at this point for me, I can pass, but I understand not passing. I feel like it's my bias because I've been suffocated by wings for so long. And I see, when people say you see how the sausage is made, I know how the wings are made. I know how everything's done. And we got Connie here. Imagine thinking wings not the greatest food of all time. Imagine working with wings.
Preach, Connie.
Imagine working with wings for 3 years straight. Chicken's one of my favorite foods, but as we've talked about on previous episodes, Mexican food has to be my number one. So I have to stay true to that. I remember you said Italian food, which we can probably say pizza is, of course. That's going to have to be number two. And wings, just like the other jobs I've had in the wing industry, can be passed on, my friends. So, Connie, fuck off. Wings are getting passed on today. And we're moving on to my brother Caleb to see which two he's going to puff on, which one he's going to pass on.
It's a great lineup we got here.
Thank you.
Tacos, pizza.
Shout out to Christian too. Christian helped inspire this three as well.
Shout out, Daddy Christian McGowan. Really appreciate him coming up with some of these. But yeah, great lineup. Wings, pizza, tacos. Couldn't ask for better. But I agree here with Connie. Imagine thinking wings aren't the greatest food of all time. I don't care how you make them; they're delicious. Give me a
when you eat that for free every day, they become sickening.
But I don't do that.
Tacos the easiest pass. That's the most New York suburb thing I've ever heard in my life. That means
I'm gonna do that though.
You don't have a good taco. You don't have a good taco within a state of you, my friend. Get
but
out
you're
of
kind of
here.
spoiled. You're kind of spoiled out there in California. Like you get tacos, not the
Sorry
pizza.
for being blessed, my friend.
You get the tacos, not the pizza. I like the pizza.
I'll take it. I'll
puffing
take
on.
it.
I'm
You
puffing
guys
on
have the
wings. I'm
pizza.
puffing on pizza, and I am passing on tacos.
Cool.
I like tacos, but just they have to be done right. I feel like it has to be the way
And you
I
have
like
to be
them.
in California or somewhere on the West Coast or in Mexico.
Probably to get the good.
Yeah.
One.
But I could see, like I said, wings. I understand the crave. I've been there. I made money. I made a living off wings for years. But I got to eat that for free all the time. And at this point, they are dead to me. Just like I'm dead to Connie, wings are dead to me. Connie, you're not dead to me. I love you, my brother. But what a great puff pass for us. It was a pretty heated one. Like last time, we disagreed again. I think we were agreeing too much in the beginning. So
we were. They've been good back-to-back weeks here.
I had to amp it up. I had to amp it up big time for these here. And we got Dustin saying, if I'm smoking, tacos are my thing. Thank you, Dustin. Thank you.
Tacos, you can smash on some tacos.
Thank you. And he knows what's up too, because he spends a lot of time in Texas. So he knows Tex-Mex, and they got their fair share of some fire.
I mean, there used to be this little place near Florida State that was called Banditos. They had like dollar tacos from 420 to 720 every single day. So don't
tell me that the 420 opening isn't coincidental. Come on.
No, it definitely is. What I would do is I'd get out of class, I would get high at 420. I'm right up in that bitch eating like 4 tacos.
I mean, they set that up. That was just genius marketing there.
Marketing.
We'll move into some topics here. What a great beginning to the show. And
what about the roll up? Or you we poll it all?
We're all over the place. So that's on me. We're going into here. Caleb, I'm letting you lead this one.
All right, yeah. Since Perry's struggling, guys, I'll take over the reins.
So I'm on the struggle bus today, guys. We need to smoke some. We need to smoke some pot. I need to smoke more. That's the answer.
Roll up, pull up, guys.
This
week we put it on our Twitter every week. So if you guys don't follow Keeping It Blunt, go follow them on Twitter, and you can be able to vote on those polls. We throw them out sporadically through the week. We don't necessarily have a specific time. You guys see them and vote. I think there's a good amount this time. I know we had 65 at one point the last time I actually looked at it. And the question was, what's your favorite streaming platform? There's a lot of different streaming platforms out there. Some of them are bundled together, but we're taking
way too many to list, by the way.
We're taking the bundle out of the equation here, so it's just strictly 420s for fake smokers.
What kind of comment is that, Dustin?
I don't know, Dustin. I'm a pretty big fan of April 20th.
What's 420 ever done to you?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a big fan of that day. It's a great day. I've celebrated it for quite some time. But yeah, what's your favorite streaming platform? Perry, do you have the results at all pulled up? Or
I do. And I'm just again, it's way too many to list personally, but we were able to pick the ones that we thought would probably be the best here. Netflix, I think, is what we know. Netflix is king, and they're changing it a lot. So it's definitely a lot more competition in the water now with Paramount Plus, Disney Plus being on fire.
Speaking of all this shit, I'm watching a documentary on Netflix right now, The Last Blockbuster. It's pretty cool. Kind of shows you how they went out of business and
I love that. And that's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
That's the funniest thing. Cool. I feel like Netflix, who pretty much took Blockbuster down, having that be on Netflix is one of the most savage things ever. That's like showing up to your enemy's funeral and smiling.
They're gonna explain to you though that Netflix isn't the reason why, and you like find out why.
You know that it had a big part to do with its popularity, though. Obviously,
yeah, definitely.
You know how that was.
It had some type of impact for sure.
Definitely. So, I personally put on Disney Plus because of recency bias. I wanted to see how people were looking at things lately because of the fact that that's such a dominant one as of 2021. We'd say, I think the end of 2020 as well. I think it was still there, but I think I put that on to see how that would pop. And the other for us, we did get a few different comments, but the one that really stood out was Hulu. So that was one that I debated putting on. But again, I wanted to check the recency bias here. But Netflix obviously being king here, 50%. HBO Max being 25%. Disney Plus 15%. Other being 10%. We'll mark that down as Amazon Prime / Hulu, maybe Paramount Plus of the new people on there, maybe Peacock. Different places that, of course, you have it on there. Netflix has spent a ton of money to keep the Oscar. And yeah, Netflix has got their own producers, and they are raising prices too. Disney Plus only because Marvel shows rewatching Star Wars. Exactly. You see Alex in here. We appreciate that, man. That's exactly why I put that on here, because I feel like now it may not be the one that you know and love, but it's the one that you've become accustomed to now because of the fact that it's the hot new thing. It has you caught with nostalgic reasons because you get to rewatch all the stuff like you mentioned, but it also has you on the edge of your seat because they're putting out stuff like WandaVision, stuff like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, a lot of different things that are coming out. So I feel like Disney Plus is doing a great job. And again, other would be more like an Amazon Prime or Hulu. Caleb, what is your lineup? Like what would you pick? If you were sitting down to hang out, what's your go-tos?
Okay, I picked Netflix. That's just strictly because of like what Dustin was saying about what they're doing. They're just dominating like the movie game right now, like the production aspect of creating shows and documentaries and all kinds of things that are very watchable and people really like watching them. Like it's just one of those things that, and they win the awards and things of that nature. The shows on Netflix win the awards, like Schitt's Creek, nominated for about everything. And it's just got a wide variety too. And my second choice here would be Disney Plus because I love that. Like I'm low-key a nerd, so like I love Star Wars. I love all the Marvel movies. I mean, I even like the things outside of that are in there as well. So I would go Disney Plus second. HBO Max, HBO. They're all right, but it's like they don't create enough. They don't create enough demand, I guess. And their shows are good. I like their shows a whole lot. They have great shows. But everything kind of falls in the same category. I'm just like, I stream everything. So like I'll watch whatever depending on
when's the last time you just watched cable?
I can't tell you. Well, unless I go over to somebody's house or something, like one of my friends' houses, and they got cable. Like that's the only way I watch cable.
Right. I feel like it's such a rarity. It's such a rarity. Even people's parents are giving up on it now. Me and my dad share a YouTube TV account together. My whole family shares Netflix and all of these things. I feel like it's so natural for us to do that now. Nobody really uses cable. So crazy. And we got Dustin saying WandaVision was probably the best show I've ever seen. I actually give them up that one. Like I think it was phenomenal. Seriously, from someone that's not a comic guy. As Caleb knows, at first I was joking about, I thought it was about Wanda's vision, but it was more of like a dumb dad joke. But I wasn't that into it. I didn't really know anything. And then the boys said, you got to get on this. And I binged it all in one. I think it was after episode 7 is when I just binged all of it. And
you did say you were gonna.
No, I followed through, and I was asking questions. I was hitting up Caleb. We were talking about this stuff. So it even got someone that's not the biggest guy into that, and I went crazy for it for sure. And we got Alex saying when the Narcos drops, it'll be Netflix for me. And I mean, they've had Narcos on there, so that's a big reason why Netflix might still be there for you too. In shows like Black Mirror, I think are one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. Some of the best producing. It's so brilliant. Every single individual story. I think it's so good. So,
I mean, they used to have like Bloodline on there.
Right.
That was good. They had, what's the one that's based out in the, whatchamacallum in Missouri? Like the guy, like the family dad's like he slings coke and shit like that. I forget what it's called, but it's good. It's Netflix too.
You said slings coke?
Yeah, like he just like slings coke and the like wife does about it, and it's pretty wild.
I thought you were talking about Breaking Bad for a second.
The Ozarks. It's called Ozarks.
Oh, okay, Ozarks. It was like about money laundering and stuff like that.
Peaky Blinders is good. I mean, there's a bunch of shows on Netflix that are just like A+.
There's a lot of stuff, and I feel like now they're dumping even more money into production, so they're putting a lot of stuff out, and some of the stuff is stupid. But when you put out 100 things, 25 of them being hits, and the other 75 being watchable or kind of dumb, like maybe half and half, like it's a numbers game. So I think Netflix plays that numbers game really, really well, and they put out so much stuff. The inclusivity of that content too, like you mentioned, it's all there and you can't really get it elsewhere. And the way that they helped out Dave Chappelle, and they were pretty transparent with him, and they helped, and he was loving Netflix with the way that they handled that whole situation. So I think Netflix is definitely the king, and I wasn't surprised to see it be a 50% split here. And Dustin saying Netflix is about to absolutely take over film. I truly believe with the big studios trying to copy them, this chance they waited for. And I think they've been at it for a long time. Now they're going to raise the price. It's slowly but surely going to happen, and continue to add more stuff on there and have it be.
There's another topic we're talking about tonight that has to do with Netflix. So you guys stay tuned because we're going to get into it a little more.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to take the topic? I know we already kind of briefly touched on stimmies.
Are we just going to dive right into it, or are we trying to go on to our
we already talked about what we're smoking on already. You know, we already kind of mentioned our poll up there. We already kind of lit up. If anybody again is smoking on anything or drinking on anything, just please let me know, and Caleb know in the comments. Please always tell us throughout the week as well on our Twitter at keepingit_blunt. We're always high. We're always drinking. Caleb's rather on a bender. I'm rather got a blunt in my face after work. And we're always curious to what you guys are up to also. So we're sparking up here. We got a hell of a show for you guys too.
Yeah, it's going to be action-packed.
We have a lot to feel good about. And we already kind of briefly touched on that too.
Yeah. But shit, let's just keep it going with Netflix here. Let's just keep it going with the Netflix. Let's start it off.
Okay. Because we were already on the Netflix talk. Yeah, let's move that up. No, I feel that. Let's do that. I feel like so take it away with that. We'll just move that up.
So yeah, one of the thing that Netflix is trying to do or looking into right now is they're trying to crack down on password sharing, which I don't really know how you're gonna stop that. Like you're gonna add a button that says like you have to accept like every single every single device that like logs into your Netflix, you have to like accept it. Like there's gonna be like an accept all button, and somebody's just gonna hit accept all, and like everything's gonna be accepted. So it's not even gonna matter. It's kind of like the video game thing we were talking about not too long ago. How like in Indiana or Illinois or whichever one of those states up there wanted to cancel video games like GTA, shit like that. And like, how do you do that? You can't. Same thing. Like you can't stop the share of passwords.
I feel like there's a way around everything, right? Even if you make it tougher, we'll find a way. It's really easy right now. And it's funny because there's always that story that the girl that you know is using their ex-boyfriend's Netflix account or something like that. And
I do, bro.
There we go.
I got my ex's Netflix account.
There we go. Exactly. And people like Caleb are shivering in their boots right now. The fact that he has to pay the small fee a month, you might finally have to do it, or just meet another woman that will let you use the Netflix
account. There's two sides you can choose.
I don't know, man. Yeah, there's working hard, and then there's working smart. And I feel like my friend Caleb over here is a working smart kind of person, and that means he's going to put himself in a good position. Connie's developed I don't know how he drinks so much milk. I feel like there's a limit to how much milk every human can drink, but milk is fire. I'll drink milk for sure. I know Christian is right there with Connie for the amount, probably the most milk I've ever seen any human ever drink. So always on that milk pack. But when you get your own place, my friend, I think you'll be sipping on some seltzer. Why don't you keep like a pack of seltzers like underneath your bed, like, and just whip it out for our show and like Tribaholics.
Just get like a bottle of vodka.
Exactly. Just hide it from your parents, and get right with us. I feel like
bad influences. Sorry, Anthony. Sorry, Connie. We're bad influences.
I'm not sorry at all. I don't apologize. I don't apologize. Caleb,
that's cool. That's cool. I'm a nice guy. See, I'm a friend.
So, all right, let's talk stimmies. We already kind of talked some Netflix here. So, $1,400 in the account. More for people that are obviously married, have kids. There's all that stuff too. But for single men like Caleb and myself, who luckily don't have kids at this point as well, except for ourselves, we're just two big kids here. But we got stimmies, $1,400. We both got our tax returns already. We're both getting paychecks. It's a good time. And it's a great time for everyone because it's money season. And look at the color scheme today. It's green. It's St. Patty's Day. And what a better time to get our stimulus checks.
How lucky are we? How lucky.
What a lucky time. What a lucky time. I just couldn't be happier.
I woke up, opened Twitter, saw Stevie's hit, went directly to my bank account, and was like, "Let's fucking go!" I was so excited, just
Bro,
like leaped out of bed.
we're the same person. Check Twitter for like the morning news. See that everybody else got their stimmies today, like even friends and stuff. And then I dived right into my bank account. Saw, what do you know? What do you know? That beautiful deposit was there. And yes, let's see. The homie getting 7,000. I'm about to go on a mission to have a kid, bro. I think there was a deadline for that, but like you can maybe like
the next one.
Yeah,
better hurry it up.
We get another
you
one.
Better
bro.
hurry
like,
it up, Dustin.
Get on your high horse or adoption. Does that count? Although that does take time, but does that take 9 months? I don't know how long the adoption process is. I know it takes
maybe like I was good. Better go Wanda on them and just like spring a kid out in like 3 days.
So, unless you have that ability, was that Wanda or was that Agatha?
It was Wanda, but what's her name helped her give birth. But Agatha, like,
yeah,
I was it. Like,
little side tangent of WandaVision here. We can't get off it. As Dustin said, it's just an unbelievable show. But oh yeah, stimmies have hit. It is St. Patty's Day. Adoption would take my stimmy. The shit is too expensive. Yeah, I feel that. So it's a good day. It's a lucky day. We're drinking. He's wearing green. I can't wear green. It's an awesome story because I have a green screen. So physically, every time I wear something green, even yellow or something, kind of messes with it. So I decided I'm going to live in the green today. But my boy's repping that green there. He's even drinking green beer. Our color scheme is green. So we are trying our best to be festive. And if anybody is in particularly getting drunk tonight, please let us know, because I feel like there is a night that people might be getting a little bit more faded for keeping it blunt. It's probably tonight. So like, let us know, guys. So Spring Breakers, take it away, because as you see, Florida State right behind my boy Caleb, although he's not in college right now. He loves to live in that area still, so he still gets to see what some of the kids are up to and get the feel for the talk of the town.
I'm not directly seeing it. They're not like in spring break in Tallahassee. Like you wouldn't go to Tallahassee for spring break, but that would be funny to see. We should do that at the end of the show. Just turn it off and like for the last like 5 minutes, you just talk with your head floating.
Yeah, we do a whole episode. We'll call it the floating head.
Everybody should be tripping by the end of this, and either be drunk as hell or high as shit.
Yeah. Spring Breakers.
Yeah, so it's like mostly down in like the coast areas. They're like people from out of state are flocking there. It's just insane. Everybody's flocking to the beaches, and we're wide open. So it's interesting. I'll be curious if we see a spike after this. We might see a little bit, but typical for spring break. We saw what happened last year. Kids still went on spring break and things and forced everything to be closed, and we saw a spike. So we'll see if that happens. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully people are being smart, but I guarantee you they're not. I mean, I remember when I was a drunk college kid, going out and just doing some wild shit, didn't care about anybody else and things of that nature. So, it's just what's going on here in Florida. Just a little quick Florida update.
It's crazy because it's not just spring break. I feel like for this entire pandemic, people have decided, what we're going to do? Go to Tulum. We're going to Tulum. And I feel like that's that new place. It used to be Cabo. It was Cancun. Now it's Tulum. There's always that new one that pops up. And
yeah, Tulum's the big deal right now.
People realize it's been cheap. I don't give a fuck about COVID, especially when we were in the thick of things. Now if you say you're vaccinated and you're going, like, do your thing. I don't give a fuck what you do. But I feel like it's been a long spring break for certain people. So the people that are going on spring break now are probably the same people that took advantage of the Tulum trips that costed $100 or $200 a pop. So
yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like spring break, you're going to expect it. I was having a conversation with my barber today, and it was just the fact that we're the dumbest country. It's just how it is. We're just stupid. I'm not bashed on anybody in particular, just as a whole. And
you coming at me, bro?
No. I mean, I think if anyone's coming at you, it's Dustin here. Florida don't give a fuck whatsoever. So I think we say that consistently on the show. It's the place that gives the least fucks is Florida. But Cancun is a must if you haven't been. I've been all over I've been to Tulum, but I've been to Cancun. I have been to Cabo. I've been to Mazatlan. I've been to Puerto Vallarta. I've been to TJ, a little Tijuana action. I've been to Rocky Point, Puerto Penasco. So I'm well versed with partying up in Mexico for sure. But Tulum isn't there, and it was all pre-pandemic. So, I definitely want to do that. Some dumbest. But nobody wants to smoke. That's the most American comment we've gotten in here. And
but it's definitely true though. Like,
all 10 episodes.
Nobody really wants to smoke. Like
that's the most American comment we've probably ever gotten on the show.
Because honestly, think about it. Like if North Korea was to be like start some shit, like we would be like, all right, can we just go fuck them up real quick and just be over with? Like just let it happen.
Yeah, and I mean. You can see it right here. I just asked Corey, who's in Australia, what they think of Americans. I asked my family that's over in Canada, asked other family members of mine that are in England. We're just the joke. And it doesn't matter who's the president or what. It's just who we are. Like this pandemic has exposed us. We said, fuck it, we're going to Tulum. That's what we said. That's our mantra. They said, COVID, fuck it, we're going to Tulum. For $200 round trip. That's our mantra, and that's no one in particular, but as a whole, we're just dumb as hell. So, whatever. But COVID's something we always have to talk about. Again, I was vaccinated the first time last week. We celebrated that a little bit. We'll be celebrating it again in 2 more weeks when I am vaccinated, most definitely. And I was stationed in Korea, begging just to fight them, so I didn't wake up before for the Thank you for your service, my brother.
Yeah, thank you. But that
it's got jokes.
It's pretty funny.
It's always got jokes. So we'll move into some sports really quick. Free agent frenzy. It's been a crazy free agency too, and it's funny because all these reporters keep saying it's going to be a lot slower. After this first wave, it's going to be a lot slower. Then it just keeps going and keeps picking up. So I think this free agent period for the NFL has been really fast moving. And I think it's been really exciting. And I think a lot of names have gone. We got Alex really quick. He's still being salute outside of me.
Bro. I mean,
who gives a shit?
No, bro, I will get my I got to get my passport renewed. I get my passport renewed, and I've got a STEMI and $1,700 last week. So if those tickets
get vaccinated,
fake
the qualifications for vaccination, go get it, and then you can go to Tulum, and I won't bitch at you. But after I'm double vaxxed, me and Christian are going to be, we'll still be masked up, but we'll be in Vegas for sure. And I think Alex is coming too. I think we talked about that. But Alex only hooks up with girls that are vaccinated too. So he's been ahead of the game for quite a long time. My boy Alex over here in the comments. So he makes sure he does have heavy screenings. Caleb over there, it's just come over if you have a pulse, COVID or not. Let's get it.
Bro, not a pulse. That's demeaning to me.
I'm joking, bro. I'm joking. Caleb will Caleb, and if any of the women out here that have ever been with Caleb as well that are watching the show, I'm joking. Caleb's a great guy, and we appreciate all your support and watching Keeping It Blunt every Wednesday with us. So thank you so much. And if he's the reason why you're here, keep coming. I'm here for jokes. I want to take a minute and the fact that Christian said that, Jonathan isn't a running back one, and I don't think that's a debate. And then after we talked about it today, he said he was, and we even said he was top 10. And I don't know. Christian
think he's still going to be a running back one. I don't think it changes his situation at all.
Christian just likes to kind of just say things, I think. Alex hitting it raw. It's okay. I'm vaccinated. Oh my God.
Funny
and Alex says, laughing my ass off when she's vaccinated. What a moment on Keeping It Blunt here. What has 2021 come to? We're looking
mark this down on your notes, Perry. 32 minutes and forward.
Oh, I'm clipping it. Don't worry. What a time that we're looking at vaccinations as a turn on. What a time. And God damn, it's a turn on. And I can't wait to be double vaxxed. Let's get it here. So let's talk a little bit of free agent frenzy here. Is there any particular signings that stand out to you? Anything that's exciting you? Any teams that are moving and grooving? I have a couple on my mind, but I want to see who is standing out to you this free agency. Let's talk teams as a whole.
I mean, Titans getting rid of a lot of their players is kind of surprising, letting them walk, which is fine because their defense didn't really live up to the hype it did the year before, so I could understand that. I like the Curtis Samuel signing there in Washington, putting him next to Terry McLaurin. I like that move a lot on their part. I think Fitz is heading there too, right? So Fitz will be there. We saw how Heineke played in that first round matchup against the Bucs, so I mean he's a serviceable quarterback as well. So Washington, I think, did a pretty good job. Giants were on their way to doing a big job. I don't know if they got Kenny Golladay or not, but
they're talking about that. I haven't seen that.
And Andy Dalton to the Bears was the dumbest move I've ever.
Nagy and Pace are the worst duo. Pace in his time he moved up to get Mitchell Trubisky. He traded a 4th-round pick to take on Nick Foles' contract that smells so bad.
And apparently they slung like the whole bag at Seattle. But like Seattle was like, no, it's not going to happen.
And everybody was in Chicago hoping for Russell Wilson. And what did you get? Andy Dalton. That's the worst letdown ever. And now it's a quarterback competition between Andy Dalton, Mitch Trubisky, and Nick Foles.
Oh yeah, Nick Foles wasn't like bad enough that you need to keep it around. You also have to get Andy Dalton.
It's so unbelievable. I cannot believe it. I think it's the funniest thing ever. So I want to talk Patriots really quick. The Patriots have been moving and grooving on both sides of the ball. They brought back Kyle Van Noy today. They have been signing left and right, getting Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, which are smart signings, depth signings, places that they need, and the big splash signings, Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry. You're going with the double tight end set like they used to, something that New England's had a lot of success with. So it's been a big week of signings for the Patriots, and they've been giving out a lot of money. Judon on the other side of the ball. Just a lot of big names that I didn't expect. I don't think the Patriots spend a lot of money traditionally. So I think this has been really, really eye-opening to see the kind of moves they're making. You know what I mean?
They really don't spend money. I feel like everybody in the league knows that. Every fan knows that. Like the Patriots, it's just not what the Patriots do. They've done it before, but most of the time it doesn't happen for them. They don't do it that way. They build from within, and whatever their draft picks are, they try and scout out guys that are going to be able to fit the mold and things of that nature, be able to play the Patriot way. So seeing this happen, it's interesting. It feels like they're kind of forcing it, in my opinion, to try and give Cam weapons. I mean, it's a smart move going back to the 2 tight end set, especially with the 2 tight ends that you did get. You got the 2 best tight ends on the market, which was great move. It's smart. We'll see. They're getting help on the offensive line a little bit there too. But, we'll see. It all comes down to Cam Newton, honestly. If Cam can't get the ball to them, which I haven't had a lot of confidence in the last 2 years or so, for that to happen, no matter what he was buying or the weapons he had. It just didn't look like
I'm on team Cam.
So I don't mind him, but I talk about it a lot. I lost respect when he didn't die for the fumble of the Super Bowl. At that point, just soft to me, and then he starts skipping balls to wide receivers and shit. It's like, what are you doing? You just don't read the pocket very well anymore, and I don't trust in him, but we'll see if he can make something out of this.
He's got help. There's been a lot of other signings, notable defensive players like, Patrick Peterson signs today, a 1-year deal to the Vikings. I think that's interesting. Hassan Reddick from the Cardinals signs to the Panthers. I think that's a really good signing there.
AJ Green to the Cardinals.
Robbie Green to the Cardinals. Yep, there's a lot. And again, so one team that you already kind of mentioned too with Fitz and with Curtis Samuel, Washington's definitely had a really good offseason. The Raiders have had a really bad one. They've rather traded or let a lot of their linemen walk. There was like one guy left that was on their starting 5 last year. So there's a lot of teams that haven't been making moves or letting guys walk, and definitely taking a big step back. So
apparently there's some rumors that like a lot of guys don't like working with Derek Carr.
Really?
Kind of floated around, which wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. And especially since John Gruden has a lot of loyalty to Derek Carr for some odd reason. I mean, that could be a problem.
It's probably a weird dynamic with Mayock and Gruden and Carr. It's probably a really weird locker room there and weird dynamic. If I had to guess too, I agree with you. I get that feeling, but a lot of stuff still to go down for free agency. You know, there's a lot of money being thrown around and a lot more money to be thrown around moving forward here. So one thing that I know my boy Caleb here is pumped for, March Madness is here.
Bro.
It is here, my friend.
I'm kind of scared though. Like this whole COVID shit, like it's scaring me. I don't want it to blow up at all of our faces. You know, that's the thing I don't want to happen. And I just feel like at some point it's gonna happen, and some team that doesn't need to get knocked out gets knocked out. And that's he's done plenty wrong.
I don't dislike Derek Carr. I think the dynamic, because like Caleb said, the loyalty to Derek Carr there, and I think Gruden and Mayock are kind of a weird couple there too. And I don't know. Caleb's just reporting on what he's heard. He doesn't know anyone.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I was just saying the rumors at this point. You know, that's bound to happen when you got offensive linemen asking to be released or asking for you to trade them or whatever the hell happened. So. I mean, it's interesting, and it's not the first time it's happened. There are other players. I mean, Antonio Brown didn't really mesh well there while he was there, although he was going through his shit at the time. But, I mean, it still didn't mesh. And, I mean, there's been other players outside of that, too. That's just the first one that came to my mind. But I just feel like there's a different dynamic there. And, you know, John Gruden, if you're not what he wants, then you're going to go. Like, that's
hate us because they ain't us. But moving back to March Madness, I know it's something you're pumped about. I know Alex here saying GCU upsetting Iowa. That's his alma mater there. He's went to GCU. Antonio Brown is a weirdo. We're moving on to some March Madness here now. So let's talk my college basketball guy, Caleb here, who's going to help me fill out my brackets once we get off this stream. And he didn't know that, but he's going to.
Okay.
But is there anything that you want to talk about here beyond? I know we'll mention some Florida State here, but as a whole, as the bracket fell together, how did the bracket look to you? Does anyone have a particularly tough run? How are the seedings? How do you feel about the whole setup?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I got to look at the bracket. Let me pull it up really quick.
Florida State, I know you had a really good show, by the way. Just while you're looking that up, if you have a chance, go tune into Tribaholics from this last week. It was a super episode. They had tons of people on there. It was a full house, full panel,
that was
a bunch
awesome.
of different people that covered Florida State on different shows and different capacities. I feel like Caleb did a good job bringing everyone together. Yeah,
It was a huge basketball panel with a bunch of people that are associated with Florida State that got deep ties that, you know, a lot of people know and have a good voice in the sports world. Like Arya Masaudi, he's like a play-by-play for women's basketball. He's done baseball before. Like if it's on ESPN Plus or ESPN3, you know, like the ones that you got to log into your ESPN account to watch or whatever. Like he's the play-by-play guy who does that stuff. So he was on there. It's pretty cool. Great knowledge. A lot of connections too in between coaches and things. So he was able to tell us a little about you know the opponents we're going to face or like you know other teams around the nation. That was cool. But yeah, man, it's going to be fun. And you know I think the hardest bracket is probably the one that Baylor's in. I think you know that South region up there in the top right corner is pretty tough. I mean, you've got North Carolina who's hitting a good stride right now. Wisconsin, who's been battled throughout the Big Ten. Villanova is all right, but my underdog that I've been riding with for a long time right now has been Winthrop. They've only lost one game all year. I really like their style of play. They're very efficient on both sides of the ball, and I think you can give it's one of those 12-5 matchups. So last year, the 12 seeds went 3, or not last year because we didn't have one, but the year before that, the 12 seeds went 3-1 over the 5 seeds, and the 5 seeds only win 64% of the time. So, you know, it's not bad taking a 12-5, and I liked Winthrop there over Villanova. And you also got Purdue in that region as well, Texas Tech, Arkansas, and Ohio State. So, like, those are big, good teams in that region, and a lot of great backcourts too.
That's a tough road.
Ohio State's got a great backcourt. Arkansas's got a great backcourt. Texas Tech's got a great backcourt. Purdue's just overall really good. North Carolina has a very strong front court, so they're kind of the odd man out in that backcourt conversation. But that's who I see coming out of that region. I have Arkansas as a 3 seed coming out of there. I just think Arkansas, when their 3 guards get hot and they're shooting well from 3, and guards matter in the NCAA tournament. I just expect that to happen here with this Arkansas team because they're ballers. And once they get confident in their shooting rhythm and are starting to drill threes, they will just keep going and going and going. So I like them to reach the Final Four in that bracket. So who do you like in that side? Have you even looked at it yet?
I haven't even looked at it yet. I'm doing everything with you after this show. You're my college basketball guy.
Yeah, I'll keep going on to the Midwest. Illinois, obviously the number 1 seed there, really highly sought after. I think about 15% of the nation has them winning the whole thing.
What's up, Rum Boys? Thank you for popping in, Robbie. We appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, what's up, Robbie? Appreciate you coming in, baby. Well, Chicago's a good team there. Keep an eye on Liberty and Oklahoma State. That should be a good game, even though Oklahoma State obviously has Cade Cunningham, who is going to be the number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft.
He is so good.
He is ridiculous, and he's hitting his stride at the right time too, and he's healthy. So that's all that matters for them. West Virginia's there. Look for Rutgers to upset Clemson. I like Rutgers in that situation. And Houston, I think, moves on too. I think out of the Midwest, I have Illinois making it the farthest, but I think I have Oklahoma State playing them in the Sweet 16. That'll be a good game. And then I have Illinois playing West Virginia in the Elite Eight, and then Illinois moving on. And I have actually Illinois going and winning the whole thing. So that's cool. I really like Illinois. I think they've got a big 3, if you will. That's what I like to call them. They've got 3 really good players that are probably going to go to the NBA. So that makes them a difference maker come tournament time. Over to the East, Florida State's region. It's an all right.
Florida State going all the way.
I have them going to the national championship. I just think it's because Florida State plays down and up to their opponents. I think the first 2 rounds might be closer than a lot of people think when it comes to, we're having to play UNC Greensboro, and then we're having to play after that either Colorado or Georgetown. And even though Georgetown's hot, I think Colorado gets out of there, and then we play Colorado. I know LSU's on a tear, so a lot of people have us playing LSU in the Sweet 16. Yeah. But Michigan just lost Isaiah Livers, who's their best, overall guy. Like, he just does everything for them. Right. Is out for the rest of the season, so that's not good for them. A lot of people have Michigan getting upset by LSU. I have Michigan facing us moving on to face Alabama from the lower half of that region. Alabama doesn't have too difficult of a road there. But if you're looking at the playing game tomorrow at the Michigan State game, I think they're -2, -2.5 right now online to, on the book or whatever you got. I like Michigan State to win. Tom Izzo's in the tournament. His team is, older. They've got, some veteran leadership on there. And if they're hitting shots, they're hitting shots. And you also got to remember the Big Ten was the best conference this season by far. You can make a case for the Big 12. They were pretty good, but the Big Ten was by far, top to bottom, difficult to play no matter who you were playing each night. You could just lose. And, you battle test through that. I think that just gives you a little bit more wiggle room here. So looking at that playing game, take Michigan State. But I got to get to the Final Four. I got to make it to the championship. But they're in the top of the West region. I've got Gonzaga making it to the Final Four, and that's who Florida State plays. But
they're so good.
They're good. But, Gonzaga comes in with all this hype every single year into the tournament, and then they don't do shit or they get upset or something like that. But I think Virginia gets upset in the first round to Ohio, and I think Creighton gets upset by UC Santa Barbara.
Ooh.
Anthony changed my mind on both of those picks last night when we had our show. So if you guys head over to Anthony Sigismond's Twitter as well, you can see that video where we just break down, pretty much the whole first round and then who we think's going where. And we just give you guys lines the whole time. So it was pretty fun. But yeah, I ultimately have Illinois winning it over Florida State. I just think they're the best team right now. And I think they're just going to carry that momentum into it.
Yeah, I think that's a good one there. I know I've seen a lot of winner for people that posted brackets. Gonzaga, obviously a popular winner. I've seen Florida State before. I've seen Illinois as a winner there. I've seen Baylor as a pretty popular winner too. But like you mentioned, they have a pretty hard road there. But, where's Arizona State? Come on, man. Like, well, Bob, Coach Hurley, we need to turn this around. We had such a good recruiting class. We had such a good class, and we're nowhere to be found. So I'm not that happy there, but I'll be tuned in. I'll be locked in. I'll be talking with Caleb. I have looked at the bracket just briefly, but didn't really dive into it or anything. So that's what I'm going to do with Caleb for the first time, quickly after the show. Not keep him up too late, but March Madness is going to be fun, and I'm just blessed to have another March Madness because of the fact that last year having
that way,
have it taken away was really rough, and I feel like for a lot of programs too. Not that it was a big setback necessarily across the board, but definitely hit certain programs that aren't nationally known in the same light, especially ones that were having a really good season, could have potentially been that Florida Gulf Coast or that Loyola, that Loyola Chicago, that team that puts themselves on the map a little bit more to help them with recruiting. And
nobody would have beat Florida State last year. I'm just telling you that up front right now.
And I know they had a great squad. And I know you were pumped for it. So I think it sucked to lose. And I'm just really glad to have it back. I think at this point, it's just one of those wins that we've gotten in 2021 that we have it back. And I know Dustin said Illinois is very good. They are very good. They are very good. They are very good indeed. And I know Ethan is a big fan there. So shout out to him. I know he's always tuning in too. So but we'll move on to our next subject here. And it's a little bit more of a somber subject with Sean Bradley. Do you remember Sean Bradley on the Mavericks?
I didn't get to watch him. I've seen highlights of him though.
Right. I remember playing with him in really early video games.
Tall,
really tall, like super tall. Like he was massive. And unfortunately, in a bicycle accident, he's paralyzed. So really, really tough news to deliver. Sean Bradley, unfortunately, announced that. Just really tough. Don't know the extent of where he's paralyzed.
He's lucky he lived, honestly. Like he was lucky to even be alive.
Oh man, just such a tough thing there. And for him, we pray for him, his family, for everything to go well. It's really fresh. So a lot to know. We don't know exactly where he's paralyzed either, but regardless, just really, really tough to report on, of course. And I got one very close to home. Consider it home. Exactly. I live in Burbank, California. And this was kind of a big one here. I mean, I work in the restaurant business beyond doing my sports and media stuff, since this isn't all sports here. But it's been quite a week here because we've now in California, 25% inside dining is now in play since Monday. We've been doing that. My new restaurant, we have some tables inside. I just opened it up. I run one over here in Burbank as well. And it's 25%. I think it's a pretty big deal considering Florida said fuck it for the last year. California has been the complete opposite. They've been really strict. Some might argue too strict in certain areas. But now with the inside dining coming back, it's definitely helping businesses. It's helping people get back to real life, especially people that are vaccinated, being able to kind of do their thing, feel good about doing it, go back to a little bit of normality. So that's cool. But the AMC movie theater opened in Burbank, and that's very interesting. I used to work right underneath it. That's back, and not something that I personally would feel comfortable with doing right this very moment. I don't think, again, vaccinations, time passing, where this kind of goes in a different direction. Maybe that's a different story, but it's open now. People are craving it for sure. And Christopher Nolan was the first person in line. So that's noteworthy there.
Wow.
So many movies. So he was the first person in line down the street. He got in. And I think that's pretty cool for the film business. I know Dustin, who's in our comments here, one of our guys, he's a huge movie buff. I worked with two Cali guys very recently, said they couldn't do anything at all. You can't do anything at all in California, really. I mean, you can see it just from the sports point of view with the fact that no one's able to go to any games. There's nothing like that. And I agree with a lot of different things, but I think we're starting to get to a point where it's slowly but surely happening. And it's been a long time coming. Again, you can argue if that's been too strict or the perfect amount of strict, but I'm not going to give my opinion necessarily. But I think we're the dumbest country ever. And we've been dealing with this wrong as a whole anyways, and shutting down restaurants and opening 25% dining. It's not going to make the biggest difference in the world. Movie theaters won't make the biggest deal in the world. I think I haven't been there personally, but I would assume you probably have to get your temperature checked and stuff to where there's certain procedures to get in. It's not just like anybody can come in and sit in a room with you for 3 hours, for a movie. Dustin said huge movie of 100+ a year. That's crazy. I need Dustin to fill me in with a huge list of recommendations for movies.
Shit.
That's a lot there. But yeah, I think it's cool. I think another one that I want to report on, Disneyland, saying that it's going to open April 30th.
I just saw that. I saw that today on Twitter.
That's noteworthy too. I think it's all kind of happening at once, slowly but surely. And
I think they're trying to pace it with, how many people have the vaccine.
And I think it's fair. I think it's fair. And I think that's a decent plan. And I'm cool with it. I'd like to get back to some normality. I think it's fun. And, I'm okay with slowly but surely. I'm okay with Disneyland, giving it another month and a half. That way it's not right away when it's happening. I think it's okay. Let's try. Let's at least try, and let's get back to something like that. So shout out to the country reopening in certain capacity. And we're going to call it a step forward with vaccines and this type of news. It's got to be a good thing. It's not a bad thing in my eyes. So I'm going to let you run with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I did watch a little bit of
the trailer.
I did watch some of the trailer. I did watch a YouTube video too that kind of broke down certain things that I wasn't aware of. I'm trying to get more versed.
Watch any of that yet, which I need to.
But I do need to go watch certain movies that I've missed. That's definitely the thing. So I know you'll probably know more, but there are certain things that I pulled out that I'll comment on for sure. But run away with Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Obviously Winter Soldier is Captain America's best friend from when he initially was trying to join the army. I forget his name because I'm stoned, but the buffs know who I'm talking about. Bucky. Bucky is his name, and then he's a bad guy, and then he remembers him. He gets him out of the control of not Sword, Hydra, and gets him back to normal, and then he becomes a good guy and fights with the Avengers and is that guy. And then Falcon, I forget who he is close with. I think he was just kind of a random, he just kind of worked with these people and then turned against them, and just maybe no, he's not close with Tony Stark. I'm trying to remember who he's close with. But there's some relationship there. I think he's close with Captain America too. So I think it's Captain America's two good friends because they worked together once Captain America was back on US soil and worked with everybody like that. So Falcon is so Falcon and Bucky get together, the Winter Soldier, and it's kind of their journey. I'm guessing it's after the fact. I didn't really watch anything on the time period of it or anything or read up on it. So we'll see. I think it's gonna be great. I love the trailer. Looks badass. So I'll let you get away with some of the things you saw.
It's gonna be kind of a co-cop kind of show where the two of them are teaming up together like that. And what I saw was that it's 6 1-hour episodes. So they're almost mini movies. So I think that's very cool.
It's like WandaVision flipped.
I think it's cool. I agree with you. Although WandaVision was only 8 and it was 30 minutes each, right?
It was 9.
It was 8 30-minute ones and then a 9th that was 50 minutes.
Yeah.
So I could see what you mean, definitely. But yeah, this one's, they're mini movies. I do like that. What I saw too is conspiracy theories that by the end of the entire series, Falcon might not be Captain America. And I know it's led to look like that, but apparently there's certain things to where Bucky might be that guy.
That's what I was maybe thinking too.
So
I don't know. That doesn't really follow.
We'll see. We'll see.
I don't know. I don't know enough about the comics.
That's what Christian was kind of breaking into a little bit. The YouTube video was kind of commenting on a little bit. So be aware it might not be set up the way everybody thinks it's set up, but there still may be Falcon as Captain America, which I think is pretty cool as is. Either way, I'm excited to see how they continue taking, this in different directions. And Disney Plus continues to put out amazing shows like we mentioned earlier.
Connecting it so well to whoever's directing and producing these things is completely under control of what is going on in the series and connecting them, and they connect it so well for the fans. I just think they do an excellent job.
Absolutely. And I'm pumped. I think the production's good. They're spending a lot of money. And again, Disney Plus was on the options for our roll-up, pull-up for a reason, because a recency bias, but there's a recency bias for a reason, because of the fact that they're putting out banger after banger, and you get to go rewatch shows like Star Wars and other things. So I feel like they're doing a fantastic job. So I'm going to pass it off to my brother here for my favorite time of the show, the Bachelor update. And again, men, if you're not a Bachelor fan, stick with us. I know you got your girlfriend in the other room that is. Go grab her, get a glass of wine, kick your feet up, and get ready for Caleb's Bachelor update. And I am pumped for this one because now there's been a lot of drama throughout the last few weeks. We're heading towards the end. And also with all the drama outside in Bachelor universe, I feel like there's some noteworthy news. So let's hear it all.
All right. So it's the Bachelor finale. And then after the Bachelor finale, there's the final roast, or after the final roast, and both the girls come back and talk to him. So we'll get to that later, but in the finale, both girls meet, Matt's mom, Patty, and her brother, John. Michelle goes first, and his parents like her, make her really emotional. And they both like Rachel as well. And so they sit down with Matt afterwards, and they're like, we like both these girls. There's nothing we can complain about them. They were just like, we just don't want you to rush into anything that you're not ready for.
Right.
And like, it kind of like struck a chord with him a little bit, but not like bad enough. And then he went on a date with Michelle. First, and they like I don't know what to call it, like rappelled down the side of a building and all that. And then like they had a date or whatever, and like a sit down, and she like presented them with like jerseys, and they both said like Mrs. and Mrs. James on them. And like he like freaked out and like told her that he can't do this. He's like, he's not ready for this. And like,
wow,
freaked out. And like when she was like asking for closure, he didn't really give her anything. It was just kind of like, I'm just not ready for this. And like, he just didn't give her like any closure at all. And so that's how like Michelle left. And so then Chris Harrison shows up at Rachel's door. And Rachel thinks she's going on a date with Matt. And Matt's like, I don't even want to go on a date. I just want to, figure things out. So they don't even go on a date. And he's like, I'm just lost, is what Matt ultimately said. And she's like, I don't know what to think. Like, what is going on? I'm like, well, you got a 50-50 shot. You like, Michelle's either gone, he just wants to think about shit, or like you might be leaving, like one or the other. You got a 50-50 shot right there. But they go to the thing. Matt goes to the thing, the area that's at a ring. It's fat. They go to the altar that they can get married at, or not get married at, but like get engaged at or whatever. And he's talking to her, and it seems that, or she talks to him, and then he talks to her, and he's like, at first it seems like he's not gonna like try and do anything with her, like he's just not gonna want anything to do with her after that. But he eventually is just like, I don't think I'm ready for marriage yet. I just want to be honest with you. I want to see where this goes. I think we have a very strong connection, which I think him and Rachel definitely did. That's what it was. And she was like happy with that. And, after the show was over, apparently things were going well between them two until, the Annabelle picture showed up of her going to a formal for fraternity. And, that was not a good look. And Matt took it very hard, and she couldn't understand. And they broke up after, I think, about 4 months or so. And so then we enter after the final roast ceremony, and both the women get to meet with him. Michelle kind of tells him like straight up, like, you didn't give me any closure, like you were kind of an asshole. And she's like, I don't even need it now. She's like, but I went into like a dark space, like things of that nature after this, because I didn't have that closure. And she's like, you can say it now, but like, I'm over it. Like, I don't even really care anymore. She was like, it helped me become a better person. So like, that is what it is at this point. And so she pretty much like told Matt off, and like his response was just so like casual and not even like deep meaning and whatever. He just came across as kind of a dick. And he's got this nasty ass beard, disgusting. And then so like Rachel gets to talk to him, and they haven't talked to each other since they broke up. That's a whole big ordeal. Emmanuel Acho is obviously.
How was Acho?
He was good. He asked good questions on both sides. He was able to let them both talk. So I thought it was very good. So it was fine with me. I thought sometimes it was a little much, like a little intrusive. Like I would have been like, fuck, like how do I answer this? But like I just think it's like the uncomfortable position of like being on TV. But like they both said, right things, and at the end they laughed. They took a laugh, which was fine, but they didn't hug, so it was like super awkward. And he was like, at some point, like I did love you, but like I don't know, with you being, not knowing or understanding where I'm coming from in terms of talking about, my African American history and things of that nature and what it means to me, then like we can't be together. You have to do some learning and growing up. And
I think he's in the right. I think he has a point there.
Right, he definitely does have a point there too. But I mean, he like it just was repetitive over and over again, which I understand. But it was just like, don't bash a poor girl. Like she was young. People grow. You and I have grown as people. So like I didn't like I understand it like one time, but like don't keep bashing the poor girl. Like she's only 23. She's very impressionable right now, and you don't want to like make things bad on her, even though she might try. It's all up if she tries. Like if she tries, she'll save her reputation. But to be able to like gain knowledge on the subject, that's all she needs to do. And just understand where African American people are coming from, and that's just how it is. Like you need to be able to do that, and it's not just that, but like understanding it is a big thing too. So it's just bigger than that ultimately. But like I kind of felt slightly bad for her, because at the end of the day, people grow from where they used to be. I mean, when I was 18, 20 years old, there's no telling what I would be doing. I would be doing stupid shit and not remembering it the next night or something stupid. So I mean, it happens, to people. So just I hope everybody like takes it easy on her, and lets her do her thing, and don't be like so down her throat about it, and just give her time to figure it out. Ultimately, is what I'm saying from it all.
Yeah, no, I think that's well said. So,
we got the next two bachelorettes too. Michelle's gonna be one of them, and Katie. So that's cool.
So I also saw, was it Tasia and another one that are gonna be co-hosting
the Bachelorette instead of Chris Harrison.
Yeah, I think that is a good move for the meantime. Get a couple people that are pretty well known in that Bachelor community, anyways, and I don't have to move on to the new person. Just kind of get a couple people to fill in the meantime while you figure everything out and stuff like that. So I want to remind everybody before we move on to our next subject, if you do love us here, we love you too. Please go support us at our Patreon at patreon.com/unwrapsports. You can see the $1 tier, the $5 tier, and the $10 tier here. The $1 tier is just to help us out. If you are feeling generous, just $1, help us out there. $5 is when you start seeing perks. 10% off our shop at teespring.com/store/unwrapped. You also get access to our Discord chat and a $10 Amazon card giveaway. The Unwrapped VIP, you get that same giveaway. This time it's 20% off our shop at teespring.com/store/unwrapped. And you also get into a jersey giveaway, or we'll just call it a memorabilia giveaway every single month. Last month it was Keenan Allen. This month we have David Montgomery. We're looking for our next month. We're going to switch it up away from football. So we're very excited for that, guys. Please go check us out and support us at patreon.com/unwrapsports. Thank you so much. So one thing that I want to talk about, you mentioned growing as a person, and we both have grown as people. One thing I think I've grown the most of is my sobriety when it comes to what I had a lot of problems with. So, Xanax, painkillers, downers, things like that were a big issue for me and had to get clean. And I have. So it's a really good life to live that. And something that someone that's done it very well, Stevo from Jackass, he is 13 years sober. Just absolutely round of applause for Stevo, because that is miraculous. And it's someone that I have actually met multiple times. When I was the GM at a sushi place Hollywood, he was a regular with his family. So he used to come in all the time. Super nice guy. It was really fun interacting with him and knowing that he has improved as a person while still being the same funny guy, super awesome dude. He could still jump off buildings if he wants to. It's just the fact that he's not doing what brings him down as a person. You know what your demons are. You're not addicted to everything in life, but you know what your demons are. You know what derails you from progressing as a person every single day. So I think that this is amazing. I love reporting on this shit. I tell you guys every single time the demons that I've fought. I know Caleb's had his struggles in different capacities. And for me, I know my sobriety from the things that really fucked my life over or something I'm very proud of, and is a reason why I'm doing pretty well with my life instead of where I was then. And I think for him, although he has been successful even for years now, has to be over a decade now, having 13 years of sobriety has to probably be the greatest thing that he's ever done. And I know it's going to be, if you asked him, that's probably his greatest accomplishment, because it's the toughest thing ever. It really is. You love that shit too much. So shout out to Stevo on his 13 years of sobriety.
Yeah,
I just wanted to take a moment.
I've always heard he was a nice guy. Like, even when he was on drugs, like, I still heard like he was a super nice guy. So I'm happy like that didn't change about him. You know,
Yeah.
he kind of was able to keep himself within, you know, outside of the drugs and everything of that. So,
Right.
you know, very proud of him. 13 years, you know, he was on some heavy shit when he was doing, you know, all those things.
He's gnarly.
It was crazy. Like, we loved it, but like, you know, low key, we all do, you know, you can't be doing that shit sober. Like, there's no way.
There's no
Like,
way.
There's no way.
There's
And
no
so, you know, like him being able to continue like his face and what he's able to accomplish and keep his image, you know, up and be good. And 13 years is a long time, and I just hope he keeps it up, and I pray for him. That's awesome.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I think it's fantastic news to report. We're going to move on to Michael B. Jordan directing Creed 3. This is awesome. What do you think about this one?
It's dope. Why not? Sure.
He's so talented.
About it. He's great at what he does. And he's directed movies before, or been a co-director of movies before as well. So, I mean, might as well. He's been the main guy in all of them. So, you know, keep it going, let him direct himself and see where it goes. I'm sure it'll come out like being one of the best ones out of them all, honestly.
I was gonna say that same thing.
It'll probably be the last one, I would
Yeah.
assume. So, like, I would expect big things.
I agree. I was going to say the same thing as you. I think this would, if anything, probably be the best one, because he has full control, knows where to take this storyline. And if it is to finish the storyline, I think he's going to finish it right. So I think it's really a solid one there. So we got Cardi B versus Candice Owens. Fill me in on this one.
Bro, I don't even know like what's going on in this. So like I'm gonna need your help like in researching this, because apparently Candice Owens and Cardi B are going at it. Because Candice Owens was like said something about Cardi B and like, why is she being celebrated on, you know, the Grammys or whatever the awards were just now, whatever it were. I think it's like her and Megan Stallions dance with each other, and you know the WAP, you know, the song WAP. She's like, how can that be like something that's like accepted right now, and then like other things aren't accepted? And
that's funny. Yeah, exactly. I think it was around the WAP conversation. I see one of the tweets was, "Yay, we made Fox News, guys! WAP, WAP, WAP!" from Cardi B. They were going back and forth on Twitter. That is so funny.
Yeah, it was just really funny. I thought it was one of those funny things. Just throw it here. But you know, whatever. I respect Candice Owens. I don't know if I respect Cardi B as much as I respect, you know, Candice Owens. You know, it's Cardi B. You expect her to say something.
And Candice Owens is actually threatening to sue Cardi B after the rapper shared a tweet attributing to Owens that the right-wing pundit says is photoshopped. That's a headline there too. So apparently something was photoshopped in the beef to fabricate something. So this goes deeper than we thought. So back and forth on Twitter. If you go to their Twitter, I'm sure it's still there. But come on,
bro, Twitter. Some people hate Twitter, but I
love Twitter.
There is so much shit that happens on Twitter. Much shit that happens.
Twitter is, like you mentioned earlier, it's kind of like the morning newspaper. You wake up, see what everybody's up to, what's happening in the world, and you get sports updates, life updates.
I get all my news, all my sports, all like people that I like.
And if you're
like to look what they're doing during the day, like a large portion of mine are like Florida State people, so it's pretty. You
can see Twitter's right below us too, at Perry Aston and CHS Knoll. Follow us at keepingit_blunt and Unwrap Sports, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube, Twitch, all that fun stuff. We're on everywhere. Facebook. Yeah, go like our Facebook page as well. Toys R Us making a comeback. I didn't hear about this until you put this on here.
I just saw it like trending, like not trend. Yeah, I saw it on trending. No, I saw it on Complex. I just put it down there. Apparently, they have a new CEO, a new CFO, and they're going to be trying to come back, which I'm all about. Bring back a Toys R Us. I love Toys R Us when I was a kid.
Yeah.
If we bring the Toys R Us back, and I have kids, which I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but if I have kids one day, like, I'll take my kids to Toys R Us. That's where we go. I mean, I'm watching this like last Blockbuster show that I was talking about earlier. I just want to go to a Blockbuster now. I guess that's all I want to do. But just the nostalgia of it. Just going back and remembering those times. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And now you're passing it on to your kids and shit like that. That'd be cool. But just an interesting tidbit.
No, that's well said. I think Toys R Us, if it comes back, I'm the same way. I'm there when I have my kids. I'm there for nieces, nephews, the whole lineup. I'm trying to go to Toys R Us, keep the business with Toys R Us for sure. So we got a topic that I definitely disagree with, but I know we're going to talk about here. The Vatican saying Catholic Church can't bless same-sex marriage. And we're in 2021. I find this unbelievable because I know that
you can't find it unbelievable.
I know. I'm not saying I find it unrealistic. Okay. I'm saying I find it unbelievable, just personally. The fact that we still haven't progressed to that point on all areas, everywhere, all religions, all states, all countries, just everything. It's just fully accepted. And that's, I guess, how I see the world. And not everybody's the same. So I can't comment, on and speak for Caleb or anybody else necessarily.
No, I agree with you. I'm just saying, if you look at the Vatican and the Catholic Church and all of that, like, they've already covered up some deep shit that none of us know about. What else do you think? They're doing? Like, you just have to be like, okay, like, that's just how it's run.
Yeah.
Just leave them alone because you don't know what the hell they're gonna do. Like, they're pretty loose cannon, like, when it comes to like the higher ups in the Catholic Church and at the Vatican. They're people that got a lot of ties, a lot of things that they can do, and know a lot of things about people.
Fucked up, powerful people, and I agree with you. And I'm not. We're not here to talk about religion necessarily at all.
I'm just saying that's how it is
for sure. No, and I agree with you. And I feel like here, this is just again something that is. I guess it's just more disappointing instead of unbelievable. I guess that would be the best word. It would just be more disappointing.
It is, but like, it doesn't surprise me. Like, I can't act surprised by it because
nothing surprises us anymore in 2021. After we've seen all the bullshit, nothing surprises us.
I mean, not only that, but like you in the history of the Vatican and the Catholic Church and like all the shit that went down with the molestations by the popes and things of that nature, and keeping them employed by the church and things like cover-ups, like deep cover-ups. Like,
for sure,
that's what I'm talking about. Like, that. I don't trust it. Like, anything they do up there, like, it's just scary to me. Like, it's like a secret service, like FBI level type shit, just the Vatican, but they're just like a mob.
It's a mob. I was gonna say it's more like a mob family. It's just crazy.
Yeah, just real tight ties, and they got power over people. So
Cuomo refuses to resign as governor of New York, cites cancel culture. He's been under heat, just like, if that's saying it lightly. Gavin Newsom, California, he's as well been under a lot of heat, as we'll say. So this doesn't surprise me that he's not willing to step down at all. But cancel culture, it's funny. I was having a conversation with someone the other day. Cancel culture is very funny, and it's effective in certain situations, but sometimes it's used in the wrong areas.
It's
exactly.
Taken too far.
I completely agree. And
like the Mr. Potato Head shit, like,
or Pepe Le Pew and things like that.
Pepe Le Pew was kind of bad, but
I
like,
get that, but it's
the humor.
but why dig it up and cancel it? Like and I think dark humor still exists out there, and this is it's already out there. It's
like I'm surprised like Dave Chappelle hasn't been canceled. Like why hasn't Dave Chappelle been like?
I don't know. Why hasn't The Office been canceled? Like I feel like there's so many things that should be canceled.
That should be canceled that aren't canceled. But
cancel culture looks at certain things that they find unacceptable and will go all at it. But the thing is, I agree with cancel culture sometimes when it comes to racists and pieces of shit that are out there, and everyone just jumps on them, calls them out so much to where their employer sears them and stuff. Like, if you want to be a shit person out there, I'm glad cancel culture is coming at your throat and exposing you.
That's why we have a shit list, bro. It just keeps growing. Yeah,
absolutely. I like cancel culture when they keep it blunt with the people that deserve it. But when we're talking about animations and shows, I personally don't love that when you're looking at, especially animation, because it's already happened. If it's new stuff that comes out and clearly it's not good, it's something fucked up. Like I know someone's trying to pitch a show about suicide, and a lot of groups are trying to get it to not air and stuff, like things like that, where you're going to get pushback if you're trying to put out things that clearly aren't rather the right timing or the right topic or
the right like taste of tongue.
And at that point, that's not even canceling, that's stopping it in its tracks. So cancel culture is stopping it in its tracks. But if something's been out for over a decade, like we mentioned with Looney Tunes and all these different, the Mr. Potato Head, like why change that now? Why cancel that now when it's already been there? And then again, we look at the other saying, why aren't we canceling everything? You know, aren't we canceling Office and all that stuff too? So, but yeah, any thoughts on Cuomo and cancel culture?
I mean, if it's true, yeah, it needs to go. But I mean, we'll see. We'll let it play out and see what happens. I just think it's funny because he cited cancel culture. I was like, that is great. Like I love when somebody higher up try like cancel culture. That's exactly what it is. They're just like, oh, it's a thing. I mean, people will try and cancel you. You got to be careful nowadays. But we'll see. Maybe he is guilty of this shit. I mean, there's plenty of times and photos and things that kind of look like he is. But we'll see what unfolds. I mean, I'm leaning towards the fact that he probably is. He's just kind of a greasy, older guy. Yeah, like that's cool. I mean, not cool really, but like
it's not cool though.
Yeah, you're a weirdo. Like why are you doing this? Like, and you know better. Like you look what position you hold, and be like, I can do better. Like
I absolutely can do better for sure.
Like even if you're gonna like have an affair, like have one girl for like 6 months and then like switch it up. And then,
funny. You're so funny. Caleb says, if you're gonna have an affair, do it right. If you're going to have an affair, do it right. What are you doing?
I mean, you might as well think about the situation before you just go and,
He said, if you're going to have a cheat meal, make it filet mignon and make sure you have it as a 3-course meal.
Touching your like personal assistant. Start touching your personal assistant to your secretaries.
God.
And, yeah, like you can't do that.
Yeah, no, not.
It's got to be away from. Away. You can't do that.
No,
but we'll see.
Let's talk about.
I just think politicians are dirty anyway.
So let's talk about someone that's trying to get into politics. Matthew McConaughey says he wants to potentially make a run at Texas governor. What are your thoughts on this one? Because we've had our fair share of celebrity politicians, not even just Trump. I mean, personally, I'm talking about governors. Really, for me, Arnold Schwarzenegger in California. So we've seen it before. What do you think?
All right. I mean,
wait,
why not?
Yeah, I don't know. Why not? I think he's a good guy, right?
I don't know his views.
I
don't know his views all that much either, but I mean, he's a very personal person. He's smart. We know that he is smart. He talks well. So we'll see what arises out of it. I don't think it really will go that far because he doesn't really have a history of politics like Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of had, kind of working his way up and, just becoming that, which Matthew McConaughey, if he wants to do, he's going to have to understand he's got to do that, but he can't just run. I don't think he would win if he just ran, but we'll see. I think it's just cool. think about, Matthew McConaughey, the governor of Texas. Like, how cool.
Yeah, Governor McConaughey. I'll take it. Governor McConaughey. We got someone else in Texas. Deshaun Watson, sexual assault allegations. He denied heavily, very heavily.
Do you read up on this?
No, please tell me more. But I did see that he denied, took offense to it. Obviously, I saw that there was there was some sort of settlement they were trying to make, and they said it wasn't about money, but they made a big settlement, and he tried to make that public. That's all I really saw. Was there more to it?
I mean, yeah. Apparently, he went to like a massage parlor and like was asking the girl to focus on like his groin area, and then like kept like, I guess, putting his dick on her according to her side of the statement, or trying to, and then like afterwards, or like he like threatened her in her words. I mean it could be sensed as a threat, so I'm not going to say it in quotations, but that he was like, I know you don't want to lose your job, and you don't want to be involved in mine either, and we can just pretty much do the thing, because she pretty much threatened her job. I've got hire people, right. Kind of threatening, is according to her. And, that was it. And then like there's text and things of that nature, but not like a whole lot. And we didn't get to see those yet. And then there's a second woman that has now come out saying the same thing. That
I didn't see
that he was sexually, aggressive towards her when she was giving him a massage too. So wow. You can't even go get a massage anymore, I guess. But I mean, if he was doing that, it's fucked up. Like Robert Kraft situation, rubbing tugs and things of that nature.
Just a Robert Kraft situation.
Yeah, Robert Kraft. It seems just eerily familiar, So I mean, massage salons and saloons and things of that nature.
And to get on to a more serious subject that we didn't have on here, and we had to, of course, send our condolences and with salon parlors, with the shooting that happened in Atlanta, with I believe there was 7 lives taken, all Asian women. So this was, I'm not going to say it was a hate crime. I'm not going to say it wasn't, because it kind of looks like that. And it was 3 different places that police had to respond to. Just
2 in Atlanta, 1 outside of Atlanta.
Just a crazy man, dude. I just can't believe this is still happening in our society.
Apparently, the shooter says that he has like a sexual desire, and he had to do that to get rid of his sexual desire of having sex with, some like
fucking creep.
I don't know, whatever. Yeah. And like, I don't know if that's an excuse, because they were all salons where he knows that majority of Asian people work at. Majority of those.
Regardless if it was a hate crime or not, like this is just a senseless act and just disgusting. And
no, it's disgusting, but like you can't dismiss it as it being, hate towards the Asian community, because
for sure, 100%.
And I think that's very telling. I think he's full of shit when he has to say that. I just think it's fucked up as a whole thing. You just took 7 lives. You need to respect,
So your sexual desires just took away mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters from families, you piece of fucking shit. Like, what is that? Yep. And I'm not going to get into this whole gun debate here, because certain people have guns and are responsible with it. And if that's for protection or hunting, like I know there's all types of things here. So it's not just guns are bad. I'm not here to say that ignorantly, but it's the fact that guns end up at the hands of people that think like this is just such a scary thing.
That's the problem. The problem isn't the guns. The problem isn't
the person. It's the person. That's a weapon, man. Like the guy can just run his fucking car into the salon. Like if he really wanted to, a gun or not, he could take a machete and just go stab a bunch of people. Like you can use whatever weapon it is. You're 100% right. It's not the gun. It's the person behind that gun.
Exactly. And that's the problem. You need to have better control over who gets gun or not just because somebody has a clean record. I mean, I know there's still psychological tests people got to take to get a gun. But
it's so scary, because like you seeing a sexual desire. How do you see that?
What I'm also saying is that people, there's people out there that are normal people, but they are just psychotic. So like they'll be able to, manipulate that thing to make sure that it has the right answers. It's like bubbling in a test when you're in high school. You already know what to do. Like it's just automatic. right? At that point. So, I mean, they've been through all this. Like, they've graduated. They've been through all this. There's just something up with them. I mean, you look at like Ted Bundy, who's a serial killer, came over in California, came over to went down to like Nevada, Utah, all kinds of different places, came to Tallahassee, killed a couple girls here, and like has over like 30 killers. And they were like, they never knew he was like that. Like nobody knew because he was just such a normal person. And he was able to talk his way out of situations because he was smart, like way too smart, but he was just psychologically fucked up. And, you know, people who can gain guns are able to manipulate those tests, and that needs to be fixed. I don't know how you do it, but you can't let it be an easy pass. You know, you got to like make sure they go through a lot more than what they actually go through, you know, to ultimately be able to determine who can own a gun and who can't.
I agree with you. And again, it's crazy because if you're just racist towards if this was a hate crime or if this was a sexual desire, whatever he's claiming, either one of those, how is that supposed to come up in a test? So it's so hard. It's an imperfect system. But like Caleb said, there has to be some way to get some regulation on this because it's just it's not acceptable to have shootings.
It makes all gun owners look bad is what it does. And it's like not all gun owners, like you had mentioned that before, and it makes all gun owners look bad. And not all gun owners are bad. You know, there's a lot of people who rely on the meat they shoot to like feed their families. There's people that, you know, use it for self-protection. Home invader or things like that.
If you're in a bad area, sometimes you might need a gun in the safe.
Well, I mean, you never know nowadays, honestly. Like we say we don't expect, like we're not shocked when anything happens in 2021. You also got to be prepared for anything. Like if you could just be in the wrong place, wrong time, and like you could need that, which I don't blame people for now. You know, like you want to carry one on you, go ahead. Like that's fine with me. As long as you use it in the right manner, I'm fine. But the fact is too many people are getting away with doing shit like this.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. So we'll move on to a little bit of sports to wrap it up before we get into a couple other miscellaneous topics. Drew Brees officially retiring. I think we just kind of assumed that with that moment that he had with Drew Brees, you know, with Tom Brady, you know, all the kids. How do you come back after that? I feel like that looks so emotional.
You don't. Yeah, it was good. Good way for him to go out. I wish it wouldn't have been against the Bucs and Tom Brady, and, you know, wish he could have gone further.
Right.
And, you know, actually win another one before he did retire. But, I mean, he's had a hell of a career. He's up there in the record books. He's got a Super Bowl. He's going to go into the Hall of Fame. So,
no doubt.
You know, Drew Brees has earned my respect, and I did dislike him for a number of years, but, you know, you can't help but respect the man now because he is one of the all-time greats. You grew up watching him, and he did some amazing things there in New Orleans.
Yeah, on the football field, undeniable greatness. And you're right, absolute Hall of Famer. There's no debate about that. Shout out to Drew Brees, so long, and he's had a hell of a career, so salute to Drew Brees. LeBron James becoming part owner of the Red Sox. I know he's in the group that owns Liverpool, and now he's become a partner. That's a baller move here, and he's just diversifying his portfolio. I can't believe it, man. LeBron's everywhere.
It's so funny though because he's a Yankees fan and kind of like an Indians fan too because he's from Akron and he's like a Yankee fan and now he's like part owner of the Boston Red Sox. So it's kind of funny, you know, whatever.
Right.
It's cool. But I mean, LeBron's setting his family up for multiple generations. It's gonna be insane. And if you don't think after him owning part owner of a soccer team, part owner of now a baseball team, that he's not going to be an owner of a basketball team once he retires. He absolutely is.
For sure.
He absolutely is. There's no question about it now because that's an investment in his eyes. And
he said LeBron, it. He said that too.
That's all LeBron talks about. He's like, I just invest in smart things and they work. I mean, you look at investing in his wife Vanessa's Blaze Pizza. Blaze Pizza was a huge investment. Look how that paid off. Everybody loves Blaze Pizza.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like from the get-go. I mean, look at the school up in Akron. It's an investment. You know, you're not only are you investing your own money, you're investing other kids' lives. You know, like you're making them better people. He's just an all-around great, role model as a kid. If you need somebody to watch, a guy like him is great. I'm sure Steph Curry will eventually be that type of guy in the NBA. He's already starting to transform into it. You can see his growth and his maturity. The way he is talking to his team now is not the Steph Curry that we knew. This is the Steph Curry that knows we need to get shit done now because I'm trying to win, now. And Steph Curry was young. We got to remember Steph Curry was young when he won these championships.
He walked into success, yeah.
Right. And Draymond Green was kind of a leader then too. Draymond Green was the big loudmouth guy, drew the tax, whatever. But you can see that in that direction. But LeBron, back to LeBron, man. Amazing guy. He's got so many different things. He's definitely going to be an owner of a basketball team once he retires.
And he said it for sure in a interview. He was asked, "Do you want to own a basketball team?" He said, "I've said it before. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's something I definitely want to do." And I wouldn't even be surprised if he was a GM one day, seeing how he drafts all-star teams and pulls people onto his own teams. I wouldn't be shocked to see him. Just kind of take the reins. He is. He's a genius person, genius investor, now part owner of a baseball team. LeBron is absolutely everywhere. So shout out to LeBron. I think this is super cool. Keeping Up with the Kardashians is now done after 14 seasons. And let me say thank God.
You think it's because of the Kanye Kim split?
Who knows, man? I feel like why? Because how many splits have happened during this whole time? How many divorces has happened? It's never stopped them in 14 years of drama. So why would this be the nail in the coffin? I don't know why, but 14 years, too long, if you ask me.
14 years too long.
Oh, fuck.
I would say I enjoyed the first few. After that, I was just like, I can't deal with this shit no more. It's too much. But that shit was funny as hell. When you did catch some episodes, when Scott Disick was on the show, that's when that shit was actually funny and good because he was just an asshole and nobody liked him and he would just be an asshole and he knew nobody liked him. It's the funniest shit. But
definitely,
I didn't enjoy it, particularly. But there's funny moments.
Yeah, it's so long. To keep it up with the Kardashians. We'll see you later. We got filming of the 6th and final season of Better Call Saul officially started. Have you seen Better Call Saul?
No, and I'm a big Breaking Bad fan.
I was going to say, you've had to have seen Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I binged that my freshman year of college.
You have to watch Better Call Saul. I have not watched the 5th season, so I'm going to pretty much run it through again so I can get that feel, but it's a really good show. Is it Breaking Bad? No, it's not on that level, but I think it's a really good extension.
Okay, cool. I'll give it a try. It's on Netflix?
Yeah, check it. I'm pretty sure. Check it out.
I'll check it out.
So we got rumors of J-Lo and A-Rod calling off their engagement.
Wild, bro.
Fuck, man.
Did you hear about this?
No.
So it's pretty wild. Apparently, they're he was liking some girl's Instagram picture and they were seen out. I don't know if they were actually seen or not. Nobody's got pictures. Time or something like that. And they issued a joint statement. And so all the rumors came out and were A-Rod's with another woman, the engagement's off, blah, blah, blah. And they came out with a joint statement saying, no, they're just working through some things. And that was pretty much all the statement said. So I don't know what's going on. Apparently they're going to counseling.
Wow.
So that's interesting for them. I thought they had both finally found their person, but I guess not.
It's been a while, man. They've been dating all types of people, but yeah, I don't know, man. I thought this was, like you said, the pair. I thought they were going to keep it going, but guess not. So we'll see what happens here. We have our last one, and I think one of my favorite ones of the show here. Seth Rogen's new cannabis website crashed after experiencing high demand. That's fantastic.
You love to play on words there because of high
demand. And you stoners out there, shout out to you for flooding the website, giving him all the love. I feel like Seth Rogen's one of the funniest dudes out there. I love him. I'm going to go check it out. I love when celebrities dabble in different brands in general, but especially on Keeping It Blunt. We love our weed and love seeing entrepreneurs dabbling in here. If that's Megatron from a few episodes ago, Seth Rogen, Lil Wayne, anybody that is in the weed market, we love you. You keep the show going.
Love it.
We love it.
Absolutely.
That's all we have for you guys this week. It's been a hell of a show. I've had a ton of fun with my brother Caleb here, per usual, always.
Absolutely.
And you always got to remember, you got to keep it blunt. We're here on Wednesdays, but you can find us right here at Perry Aston and CHS Knoll and our Twitter together for keeping it _blunt. We got our poll on there. We always have our crazy, trippy videos, different things that we put up throughout the week that happens in our crazy world. So go check us out, keeping it _blunt, Unwrapped Sports on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Please go subscribe to us on there. Please go check out our Facebook page. Go like our page there. And remember, go shop at teespring.com/stores/unwrapped.
Go get some of that merch.
Go get some of that merch time. You can see it all here. We got different designs, things that we've came up with, really, really cool, trendy stuff. And then you have different shows that are showcased here, including ourselves. I've lacked hard. Literally, when I get off the show right now, I'm going to order stuff right now. So, and with the stimmy, I know everybody out there has got some extra money. So go help us out and get yourself looking right with Unwrapped Sports at teespring.com/stores/unwrapped. We really appreciate that. And again, March Madness is here, and we're very excited for it. So go check us out at mybookie.ag with sign-up code USN100. Get double your money and an extra sign-up bonus. So sportsbook, live betting, casino, racing, everything on here is everything that you need. Go check it out. March Madness tournaments on there, and you're eligible for that David Montgomery signed jersey if you sign up with our code and send us a snapshot on my Twitter, Keeping It Blunt's Twitter, K-Love, Unwrapped Sports, anybody that you can find from Unwrapped. If you send us a code or you send us a snapshot that you signed up, we will put you in the entry for that David Montgomery signed jersey along with our Patreon members. And go sign up for our Patreon at patreon.com/unwrapped sports. We already broke down all the tiers and all the fun perks on there, but go check it out for yourself. Please go support us. We really, really appreciate it, guys.
Great stuff, guys. There's lots to like about that. The Discord, including Amazon giveaway. There's a lot going on. Obviously, the signed memorabilia, but that shit is amazing. I'm just gonna have to up my tier so I can get entered into a little more of those raffles now. So I'm looking forward to doing that now that I got a little stimmy bonus.
I love it, guys. Yeah, thank you so much for all your support. And Caleb, it's always a pleasure coming on. I apologize for my tardiness. I was stumbling through the beginning, but we got through such a great show. I'm pumped for March Madness this week. We're about to put together a quick bracket, see where his mind's at, and hopefully make some money. Again, go to mybookie.ag, but check us out at Bets USN on Twitter. We're putting up a lot of stuff on there. Corey is on fire. You can check out all of our guys that are putting out a lot of work in the gambling sphere and in fantasy, of course, too. So thank everyone for tuning in with us on this edition of Keeping It Blunt. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next time. Keep it blunt, everybody.